Good day, Greg Parsley, Superintendent for the Vincennes Community School Corporation. Shorter message this week. Obviously, a tough week, really from the middle to the latter part, continued through the weekend as we just kind of seem to have gotten the insult to injury with the storm that came through. Certainly want to thank our first responders and our utility workers and all the folks who dealt with the storm cleanup and damage, and appreciate the work that they did as they had a tough task. The good thing that we're certainly aware of, there was no injuries, and we got through that, and now we go back to what we know as the new norm. Week ahead in the Vincennes Community School Corporation, we are back to e-learning beginning tomorrow, the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Parents and grandparents and guardians, I can't say thank you enough for the job that you're doing working with your students. Students, thank you. You're doing a nice job as well, and the things that we expect of you, but I know parents and grandparents and others, we're asking a lot of you to basically deliver the education that's coming from the teacher, and I know that many of you are in constant communication with those teachers and asking for help. Keep asking for help if you need it. The best resources are certainly there for you, and they will continue to work with you and provide you the help that you need. We recognize we went ahead with e-learning last Thursday, but it became secondary as the message that I put out. We realize there are still some situations right now. It's a very small number, but it's still impacting some folks that are still without electricity. We know internet is still a little bit of an issue for some folks throughout the community, and just know that we'll continue to be patient. If you're having those issues, students and parents, simply communicate to the teacher. Find that way or that avenue, and again, we're going to continue to work with you, and we will get through this, and hopefully sooner rather than later we'll get back to that new norm. Meals, it's a Monday today, which means it's a meal service day. Last week we saw a slight decrease, and I think there were a lot of variables for that, but we still provided over almost 8,000 meals. Again, many thanks to Mike Zadie and our Sodexo folks and the volunteers working to produce those. And with storm damage, they too had to make some changes. But as we prepare here for today, all is normal there again, and at least to the normal of the 4 sites. And again, with those 4 sites, it makes no difference if you're a high school or a middle school student. You can go to any one of the elementary sites. You may be a Riley student, but it makes more sense for you to go to Tecumseh Harrison. Absolutely makes no difference. You go to where you need to go, but just simply go once, and they are checking folks off as we've kind of had to streamline that process. So appreciate the work that's going out there. Last week we rolled out some important dates. A couple of them that I will highlight. May 14th will be the last student day. Teachers will finish on that 15th and then into the following week as we wrap up things, but students, your last e-learning or packet day will be on Thursday, May 14th. We've tentatively set July 17th for commencement or graduation for our seniors at Lincoln High School. We certainly hope that we can hit this date. Mr. Combs and his folks have worked hard to certainly communicate to our seniors and to get some of the different messaging out there. You will have your diplomas in advance of that, but we certainly want to do a formal ceremony for you, and it's our hope that we'll be able to do Friday, July 17th. Next packet distribution is set up for Monday, May 4th. That will get you through the last 2 weeks of the school year, or students carrying you through that May 14th. We've got some exciting things happening, we hope, later this week with it when it comes to internet and Wi-Fi hotspots throughout the community. Certainly want to thank the different providers, and then Tim Salters and Dustin Jones and Jake Chambers and Eric Estabrook as they work to try to provide those opportunities with the providers throughout the community, and more information will be shared with you later in the week as we get closer to that. Still looking ahead, we know parents and students, you've got some questions when it pertains to items that you have within the school buildings. Maybe it's some of those end of the year items such as yearbook distribution or whatever. Those are questions that we're still working through. Obviously, we kind of had to change some gears last week. I know the high school was planning on PE curbside locker pickup, and the PE teachers had organized that, but with the storm, we've changed to a new date. Students, and we're a month into this now, but if there are things that you need that are absolutely essential for you to be able to complete your assignments or do your work, or that you just absolutely need, we would ask to communicate with the teacher or the building principal, and arrangements will be made. Otherwise, know that everything is secure within the buildings. It will stay secure within the buildings, and then when time allows, we will organize a better plan so that we can get all of those items distributed to you, and that includes those end of the year items that I mentioned, yearbooks and so forth. We'll develop a plan there. With that, I said a much shorter message. Simply end with my usual disclaimers that we're back to what unfortunately we know is that new norm, and we're still under that stay-at-home order. I know that became very tough last week with so many people not having electricity and needed to get out. May have been for meals or to have to get out and help family members or friends clean up damage from the storm. But we are under the stay-at-home orders. We ask folks to stay at home, wash your hands, keep your distance, all those things we've talked about. Students, you've heard me say repeatedly, and to the point of ad nauseum, but it's not that opportunity. Summer vacation has not started. It's not anything of that nature. We will continue with the e-learning and the packets, but we need you too to stay at home and work on your assignments. So with that, let's hope for a better week. Thanks for all that you do.